Good day, students! Today, we're going to learn the differences between bias and prejudice. An important skill of critical reading is the ability to detect an author's bias and prejudice. Having the skill to determine biases and prejudices will help you validate or invalidate an author's claim. For us to get started, let's take a look at the following statements. The employer promoted a man over a more deserving female candidate. Anna thinks their beliefs and practices are superior to any other religion. What do you think about the employer? What about Anna? Very good! We have the same idea. The employer and Anna are both unfair, or they are in favor of something. The employer has not been fair for the female candidate. Similarly, Anna is only in favor of her own religion, thinking that it is superior of all religions. These statements present bias. Bias is a one-sided perspective in the absence of neutral viewpoint. It is to lean in a certain direction, either in favor of or against something. Here are other examples. My aunt is always more friendly to black dogs than others. In this sentence, the subject is in favor of black dogs. They might hire a man over a more qualified female applicant. In this sentence, the subject is in favor of men applicants. Black men tend to commit more grammar errors than the whites. Let us now move on to this new set of sentences. The citizens did not vote for a particular candidate who did not graduate from high school. The employer ignores older applicants. What do you think about the citizens? What about the employer? Excellent! Both subjects gave an opinion before getting relevant facts about the case or situation. Not being able to finish education does not mean a person is unable to lead others. In the same run, age should never be a reason to ignore rights and abilities of people. These sentences present prejudice. A prejudice is a preconceived judgment or opinion before sufficient knowledge. Examples. The report blames most crime in the town on teenagers. It is a preconceived judgment on teenagers. Second, the boss does not promote women at work. This shows prejudice because the boss ignores abilities of women. Lastly, the landlady does not accept same-sex couples to rent in her place. This also shows prejudice because the landlady is against same-sex couples. Prejudice is somehow connected to discrimination, as the latter comes into play when one starts acting upon a prejudice they possess regarding a certain group of people. Here are some common types of prejudice. Let us now test your understanding about bias and prejudice. You tell me whether each item presents bias or prejudice. Number 1. I don't want Muslims living in my neighborhood. Does this present bias or prejudice? That's correct. The answer is prejudice. Number 2. In this school, the high position is only given to women and not to men. Bias or prejudice? You're right. The answer is bias. Number 3. A teacher who gives good rating to her student who shares the same religious belief with her. Bias or prejudice? Congratulations! That is also bias. Number 4. Treating someone like a convicted killer even after years of being acquitted of murder. Does this present bias or prejudice? Amazing! This is a prejudice. Number 5. Thinking that someone who is physically ill is also mentally sick. Bias or prejudice? You're right. This presents prejudice. Now that you are able to differentiate bias from prejudice, it is important that we apply this, especially in writing. Using biases and prejudices will invalidate our claim as white. Instead, we should be fair and knowledgeable enough before we write something. This is Sir Nate. Remember, don't judge a book by its cover. The quality or character of someone or something cannot be judged by just looking at them.